Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing okay. I wanted to, show a few of my decks that came in because, well, I did what I said I wouldn't do. um, I have shown this deck, which was actually just printed on my home printer many times. It's the Adinkra Oracle, yeah, or the Adinkra Cards. I think I mentioned, there were a lot of staining and stuff going on. However, it did make the deck very special. I think it was some time after I did this deck, like I said, on my home printer, right? I mean, it's just white and again with staining. That I actually found a printer here in my area, that would print me one deck, right? And I did that with other decks. I mean, I've shown some around, right? Since I found that printer, I definitely made use of it. So the thing is, I never reprinted this one. And one day I did do some design, I was like, maybe I can do it. And it was not that I couldn't do it. It was just, even though the printing of this deck was done, well, horribly, because again, home printer, I love this deck. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want perfection in that sense, this was my deck. So I didn't. Yeah, I printed other decks and I kept going on with this one. But then I saw this deck and I forgot the name of the sister that did it. I will put it up in the screen. It was the deck, the Chalks of Kikongo Cards, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And, well, I'm in Europe, for me, everything that I pay for a deck plus shipping, well, put on that plus 50%, for the taxes here that we pay through the post. And I was like, well, I'm not really a fan of round decks, what if this doesn't work and I put all that money in there, So I had this idea to recreate the symbols and see how these symbols would speak to me. Because I can still buy the deck with the guidebook and support this artist, which I prefer to do in all honesty. But again, we all have a budget. And because I love the Adinkra symbols, this is one of my most used decks, one of my favorite decks, because I thought that deck, or at least the symbolism, right, would work really well with this, even though one is Congo, this is Ghana, right? But I was like, I think that could work. So I tried, I started, to play with those symbols. And, okay, let me put this aside. Yeah. I started to play with those symbols and I came up with a design. In all honesty, it's a little bit too big here at the sides. I need to reel that a little bit in, yeah. But just for argument's sake, right? Because I had it printed. But when I was designing this, I was like, again, it would really go well with the Adinkra symbols. But this is such difference, right? Maybe I can do the Adinkra Oracle. I can have it. Well, I'm sorry, my words. I can print the deck, right? I don't need to get rid of this, but I can print the deck. So I did. The thing I said I was not gonna do, yeah, I did. And if you think, yeah, that okay, so you printed the deck, right? No harm done. It's your deck. Yeah. I printed it a few other times. I will show you some. Because I got on a roll. Because I did the gold, with this design, I did a little bit of that gold kind of coloring, So I mirrored them, yeah. What was here goldish, here, I put here in a different color. So I could work with them together, that they had a little bit of the same vibration. I mean, even in the backings, different, but a little bit of that same vibration, right? So I did that. But because I was doing that, I will flip through some of these in a second, you know. But because I was doing that, yeah, I was like, well, I do love my black and white version, right? No extras, no much, right? Just simple black and white. So I was like, yeah, I can take this one out and I can make this black. And I just take this one out and I'm done. Yeah, black and white. They're of course not in order anymore because I've been using them. It's basically the same deck. It's just like I said, I took that gold coloring out, you know, and made it a simple black and white. And then there was, because my my recent family line, so to speak, you know, comes from Guyana and Suriname, yeah. And there was this deck coming out, the Sranang Tarot. Sranang meaning Suriname, you know. In all honesty, I'm not even going to show the deck because when I finally got it, I was a little bit disappointed. The quality was not what it should have been. That aside, yeah, the thing is, it had these darker brown borders, right? And a little bit that old style, right? That vintage. So I was like, well, you know, maybe I will make this one. and make that matchy with the tarot, right? So yes, I went from, no, I don't need to print this deck. I mean, I love my own printing, even with all the flaws and things, you know, the staining and whatever, to, okay, well, let's print. So yes, I did it. I cannot say I'm sorry because I'm really loving my decks here. But like I said, where it all started, in all honesty, was I wanted to pair this, yeah, with the Kikongo symbols. And this actually worked out great. Like I said, with time, when I have the budget, I might still actually get that deck for the guidebook and work with my own cards, because I think in the original one, it has circular cards. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of circular cards. They just don't work for me. Anyway, like I said, they're communicating. They're communicating beautifully. And while this is of course a little bit different, I do have here, because here I even went into the history a little bit, you know, very small, but that it's there. Here I have the name, I have what it means, and then the keywords. So basically I have this, and then I have the keywords, you know. Because not with all I had like a history thing to really talk about. So in this version, I just left that, you know, because I have it in my original version. But again, with the keywords and this, like I said, because I don't have the guidebook, this is really intuitive. So this is also what I wanted to see, how that would work for me, you know. Could I tap into that, and again, will that work for me? Okay, I'm talking a lot. Let me flip through a little bit of them. So yeah, like I said, I just recreated the symbols with the key or title kind of words, you know, to see how this would work for me. And in all honesty, I'm really pleasantly surprised. I love this concept. I'm studying a little bit more about this concept, you know, and again, the communication between these two, yeah, is absolutely beautiful. I did a few readings, of course, since I have it, and yeah, it hasn't let me down yet. They really make you think, yeah, and they definitely go deep, you know. So yeah, that's what I did. And again, oh, I love this combination. Normally, I love pairing Oracle with Tarot or something, you know. With this, I don't, yeah. This is a message. If I want to layer on top of that, I will probably use my bone set, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely a big fan here. Really love this combination. So yeah, like I said, I said that I would never do it, you know, because I have one and I love that, and I really wanted to keep that energy, right, that this deck has, because I think the energy is, I really worked hard at it. And like I said, even though it's not beautiful in the sense of like a card that you would get from a mass production, or like I said, when I print them even myself, right? Not myself, but when I ship them to a printer, yeah. Of course, my quality is definitely flawed in that sense. But yeah, I cannot help, I mean, come on, look. But yeah, I cannot help that I actually really love this deck here too. Yeah, it's so stained. But again, this deck has something, even though, like I said, I mean, there is no backing except the staining that happened, you know. But yeah, even though this version is definitely flawed on many levels, yeah, it will still not go anywhere, yeah. It's still going to be used, even though I might have now more beautiful versions in that sense. But because I was making this, I felt like I want something that will fit that same energy in the aesthetics, in visualizing, right? How we see it. So yeah, this is how this one came about. And then yeah, when I was doing that, I kind of went overboard with the other two. I will flip through them in a second too, a little bit. But yeah, of course, the printing here is absolutely amazing, right? So I do love that, definitely. I do love that. But yeah, like I said, this is a little bit how that started. I really wanted to play with this this concept, you know, these cards, and like I said, when I was looking a little bit deeper into it, like I said, I got that that feeling like, oh, I think it would communicate really well, right, with the Adinkra. I'm sorry. But again, the funny part was because I was also feeling like, even if it doesn't, right, then I have a beautiful version of that, right? It will never go to waste, this deck, because I use this deck a lot. Well, this version I used a lot, but so I knew that even if it wasn't what I was hoping or thinking it would be, you know, it would still not be a waste, right? I just had an extra copy of this deck. But no, they definitely will stick together. They were created with each other in that sense, right? Like I said, even the backings I made, and like I said, I made that connection with them, right? Like, you two are supposed to, well, work together. So, oh, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Like I said, I've been doing some readings with it, and it is definitely added in my divination, right? In my practice, in that sense. Let me put these aside for a little bit. Yeah, and yeah, I already said it, yeah, but because I did that one, I was like, well, maybe I can put the black and white in there, right? That I also have an extra version of this. I mean, I'm printing now anyway. And yeah, because of that other tarot that I wanted to pair it with, because in Suriname we have our own kind of spirituality outside of the religions, right? And it's the Winti one. And Winti, it actually has the foundation of a lot of traditional African practices, coming from Yoruba, Nigeria, Benin, and Ghana. So because that foundation is already there, when I wanted to work with this new deck, again, the quality is not great. So I'm really disappointed. Let me be honest. But I actually created one that would fit with that tarot, you know, because I was like, well, if I'm tapping into these Winti spirits, right? I would love, yeah, this deck of symbols that comes from Ghana, right? To communicate with that. So yeah, I went from, okay, I'm just gonna make one to work with this. Okay, let me also make a black and white one. I was in the market for my, well, Suriname Tarot, the Sarang Tarot, and then I was like, well, let me make another one. The backings here are different. This is, again, all the Adinkra symbolism in a backing. Love those backings. And this was very different. I just wanted something that would fit a little bit with this. It's a little bit lighter. Here you see the darker accents coming back, but I kind of like this one too, for discoloration, right? Because in all honesty, the front is pretty much the same. I mean, this all right, it's the same. I just, instead of a white background, I put their different backgrounds. And even though they're the same, when I work with them, they do have this different kind of energy, right? Which is kind of fun to see, because I've been working with this one for so long. So in this combination, I really get a different energy, because again, this is like a combination, right? I'm uniting, yeah, different kind of African nations, yeah, Congo, Ghana, right? And they talk beautifully with each other. So yeah, the same, like I said, because I've been used to just using this, and now I'm actually really expanding that in that sense, you know. Yeah, it definitely has different energies, not only with what I pair it with, but like I said, even in this background, you know. So that was a lot of fun, yeah. I don't regret anything. I'm actually pretty pleased. But again, this one will still not leave, you know. My original one, yeah, is still one I grab. I actually grabbed it yesterday in combination with another deck. So yeah, I'm just gonna have multiple copies of different kind of stylings, yeah, of my beloved Adinkra Oracle or Adinkra cards, yeah. So yes, I just wanted to show, because again, I've said so many times, oh, I'm not gonna print, oh, maybe, but I don't think so. And oh, we have some synchronicity going on here. Vihankra, if I say that correct, house compounds, that's what it means, and the keywords are security and safety. Oh, I like that. Good morning to you too. So yes, oh yeah, I love my cards. I cannot help it. I'm actually glad now that I have multiple copies, you know. I'm definitely glad. Because the one thing I did miss in this one was just the backing, you know, to make it a little bit more complete, right? But as you can see, I think I was 2 or 3 cards in, because the ones that have one line, so to speak, they were printing better than the ones, yeah, that needed to be filled in. So I think I was 3 or 4 cards in when I realized that. See if the line also gets thicker, yeah. But yeah, then I was already invested, right? I mean, some cards already came out, and the ink was kind of laying on this cardstock, because it's actually beautiful cardstock. We apparently just can print on it. But yeah, I remember, and I actually, because I have cats, so I need to be careful. I actually had all over my house cards drying, yeah? On top of books, you know, in my bookcases, in closets that had a door so I could close them, yeah? I mean, the deck has 62 or 63 cards. So yeah, like I said, my house was crazy, and it was crazy for a week, yeah, because it really needed to dry. And yeah, like I said, it just didn't came out perfect, but I loved it anyway, and I still love it. It has something. It definitely has something. But yeah, like I said, this one was also thick, but it had less problem. It was just the whole thing here. This one too, no problem, right? There are no stains and stuff, but yeah, it just had apparently a mind of its own, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, even like I said, even with that no backing, this might be more beautiful in that sense, right? Yeah, this will still not go anywhere. I'm so attached to this one. I think this is why I was scared to print it, you know. I didn't want to let go of this one. And when I planned, I was like this, and this would be a pairing, right? I mean, they would belong together. So I kind of felt like then I'm not into this, because I will still use this. But yeah, like I said, this took a whole other turn, but I'm still into this. Yes. So yeah, that is what I did. Like I said, I might have gone a little bit overboard, yeah. But in all honesty, again, I'm not regretting it because this is one of my most used cards. You know, um, I can pair this with a tarot, yeah, and make that, for example, a focus card, yeah, and then pull tarot around it. I have another oracle deck that I actually love to pair with this in a message, a little bit like this, yeah. But it's not symbolism, it's keywords with pictures, yeah. Um, but I love to pair that with this one, yeah. Then, like I said, I can also pull one card and throw some bones on it, you know. So, like I said, this deck I use so much, yeah. Um, I think this is why I'm not regretting having these multiple copies. This one, like I said, is really fitted to work with the Sranang tarot. However, when I have maybe another kind of deck, and it has this maybe vintage parchment kind of thing going on or something, I can maybe pair it with that too, right? To get a little bit more aesthetic going on in that sense. I actually, yesterday I paired this one, well, the more beautified black and white, with the Ghetto Tarot, and it was amazing, yeah. Oh my god, I love that so much. So, I think by having these differences in aesthetic, it actually expanded this deck even more for me. So no regrets, absolutely no regrets. Okay, we didn't have a synchronicity, but almost, yeah. Change and life dynamics. I like that. Yes. So, yeah, I just wanted to show some cards of, you know, and again, even though I said I wouldn't, or probably not, or yeah, I don't think so, I actually did it. And then I did it right. I mean, I didn't just do it. I really, really, really did it. Like 3 times. But yeah, again, absolutely no regrets. I love these decks. I was actually thinking, yeah, of making a photo collage one also with the Adinkra, but with the symbol then in it or something. Yeah, like I said, I'm on a roll now, you know. But yes, like I said, one of my favorite decks, and I'm actually really happy, you know. They're so beautiful. The thing is, it is easier to shuffle with this one because the other one is a little bit bigger. So the other one I need to shuffle like this, which I'm not always a fan of. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I made this to fit my hand, you know, in size. So in that sense, yeah, it's a little bit easier shuffling. Again, with, ooh, I'm always throwing this one around. Wait. Okay, so yeah, see, with this one, I cannot do it. It's just, well, yeah, but I'm gonna do it very weird then. So with this one, it was, yeah, always like this, you know. Oh, see? So I do love the fact that I have maybe a size that's a little bit easier to shuffle in that sense, you know. So, yes, again, that's what I did. I did it. My Adinkra Oracle. And of course, my first steps, yeah, into the Kikongo symbolism. Like I said, I will put the sister and her website and her deck, you know, in the description, because in all honesty, the only reason I did this is because, well, the deck isn't, well, cheap. No offense, because of course, as an artist, I believe you deserve, you know, to get paid for your work. But because the deck is already a little bit expensive for me, you know, and I know I need to pay taxes on it, yeah, I just wanted to see if it was gonna work for me before I well, I admit such an amount of money, you know. And like I said, I only did a few readings, but I'm actually really happy with it. It really resonates. Especially in combination with, it really vibrates, you know. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I will invest in her deck, because I feel like, well, I'm now, yeah, it's not like I'm gonna sell it, right? This is just for me. But yeah, at the same time, I do want to support the sister, and get her deck, even if I'm ending up preferring, which I know I will, to work with my own. Because again, I'm not a fan of round cards. They are just not really working for me. But yeah, so this is how it started. Yeah, I wanted to have this, and then I thought it would work with this. And yeah, again, after that, yeah, something took over. Something took over. And this is what it became. But yeah, that are my, oh, we have a synchronicity here again. Oh, that's a less good one. Arrogance. Okay. Well, thank you. um, so yes, anyway, like I said, these are the Adinkra cards. The Adinkra cards I might actually put on make playing cards. But when they are there, I will do a new post, or maybe a small video to let you know, if you're interested, then you can go and get them. But they're not there yet, so I just want to mention it. If you're interested, I might put them on make playing cards, Anyway, like I said, it's Saturday morning here. I just wanted to play with my cards, and I was like, oh, I didn't show them yet. Let me put on the camera. So that's what I did. I want to thank you all for joining me again. I wish you all a great weekend and a good rest of your day. I will be back soon with more content. Until then, stay blessed and have a lovely day. Okay, bye-bye.